Hi again, and welcome back to FSD TV. I'm your host, Mark Sonny, and today we have Amy Chung with us, who's going to take a look at characters within stories to see if you can have a better understanding of that actual story. So, Amy, take it away.
Hi, I'm so happy you're here for today's lesson on how you can level up as a reader from home. I'm going to show you how you can understand a character more deeply by looking closely at their journey and their motivations. To do this, you're going to need a few things. So, you want a book at your reading level. This can be a picture book, a chapter book, it can even be a digital book on your device. But it works best when it's a story that follows a character through a journey. You're also going to need some paper, could be a writing journal. You're going to need a writing tool, and if you have some handy, Post-it notes are great. So, let's begin. Have you ever watched a movie and became so invested in whether the main character triumphs over the villain at the end? Well, those movie creators actually designed the journey to get you as the viewer to care about these characters. And this happens even in our reading and our writing too. So let's take a movie that's really popular that you might be familiar with. Let's take a look at Finding Nemo. Now we're gonna focus just on the title character. Little Nemo. Nemo, at first glance, might seem like a young, lost fish at sea that's just searching for his papa and his way home. But what I want to show you is when you pay attention to a character's motivation and the actions that they take towards that goal, you can really understand the character at a deeper level. So let's go to this movie and think about right at the start. When Nemo is introduced, it's his first day of school, and he's so excited that he wakes up earlier than his dad, and he's practically bouncing off the sea anemones. So that kind of showed me that he was really motivated to go to school, and he was asking a lot of questions. So I thought, Nemo really seems curious, and he comes off as a very happy character. Shortly after, when the day starts, his class takes a field trip to the edge of the coral reef. And some of his new classmates double dare him to go beyond the coral reef into the drop-off, which is really against the rules. And you can see in this scene, Nemo's face is really uncertain about what decision to make. His eyes are darting back and forth. But he succumbs to the peer pressure and he takes on that dare, and he's going to cross that boundary. So this scene revealed another layer to his character. It showed me that he could be really unsure of himself, even though he was raised to have a lot of rules and structure. And he showed that he was insecure because he really cared about getting his new friends to like him. Suddenly, his dad Marlin shows up. He grabs Nemo and he scolds him in front of his friends, embarrassing him. And Marlin forbids Nemo to participate in this. But in this act of defiance, he doesn't listen to his dad. He sneaks off, swims past the drop-off to a boat that's anchored in the distance, and he touches that boat. So in this act, Nemo really revealed that he kind of has some bravery in him to venture off to a place he's never been. And also, he was pretty rebellious to defy his dad in front of these new friends. Now, if you've seen the movie, you know that this one decision kind of catapults the story into this huge adventure for these fish. I'm not going to keep going in the movie because I don't want to spoil it for you in case you want to rewatch it. But today, I want to show you how you can do this and think deeper about a character, even in the books that you read. So like I said, this works with a chapter book or a picture book. Let's go to one of my old favorites, the rainbow fish. In the beginning of the story, Rainbow Fish is introduced as the most beautiful fish in the entire ocean. So that marks the beginning point of my story. Already, I can conclude that Rainbow Fish is special, maybe even unique. his beautiful scales really make him stand out. When other fish asked him to play, he would ignore them. This was the next point in the story. And he proudly would swim past them. And that made me think, wow, he's kind of stuck up. He knows that he's special, but doesn't let other people kind of participate in it. Then one of these tiny fish asks him, "Can I please have one of your special shiny scales that you have so many of?" And Rainbow Fish's reaction was shocking. He yelled at this fish and shooed him away. And that kind of showed me that Rainbow Fish, although really, really beautiful, was a bit selfish. And these qualities weren't the most likable things. This little fish then goes on to tell all the other fish in the ocean to not be near Rainbow Fish because he was so mean. Suddenly, Rainbow Fish became very lonely and realized that no matter how beautiful he is, if he didn't have friends to admire him, it didn't feel that great. Now he was motivated by something different. So that led to his next action, where he seeks out the advice of an old, wise octopus. When he did this, I realized that he started to feel really lonely, and he wanted friendship. He was really hoping that this octopus would offer some sage advice. And the octopus tells him to take all of his beautiful, shiny, unique scales and share it with as many friends as he could. He struggled and struggled with this decision because the scales was what made him special. When the fish were to approach him again, he actually decides to take the advice and he shares his scales with all these little friends. When he does this and he overcomes his struggle, he realizes the ocean is such a much more beautiful place when the beauty is shared with his friends. And in that lesson, because he was motivated to gain friends, I learned that Rainbow Fish can be kind, and he can also be generous by giving up his most precious item. And you can see by following and looking closely at a character's journey and their motivation, you get a much deeper understanding of the character. Now, I hope that you take this challenge today and take these skills into looking deeply into a character, following closely into their motivation and their journey through the story, and try to practice it in the own books that you're reading at home. I hope today's lesson helped you, and remember to visit fullertonsd.org for some more resources if you're looking for digital books to read.
Thank you, Amy, and now we have a better idea of looking into a character in the story to get a better understanding for that story, so we appreciate the work. On behalf of everyone here at FSD TV, I'm your host, Mark Sonny, and keep reading.